The clang of steel locking shut rang out like a judge's gavel across the cul-de-sac. I stood there, padlock in hand, a quiet grin on my face, watching the only road into Willow Creek Estates seal tight behind a brand-new gate. A crisp white sign read, "Private access, entry by permission only." Eleanor's face went crimson, her mouth opening and closing like a trout on dry land. "You can't do this," she shrieked, jabbing a trembling finger at me. "Oh, Eleanor," I said, calm as Sunday morning, "I just did." The entire homeowner's board stood frozen, clipboards dangling, suddenly realizing that without my say-so, nobody, not even them, could drive into the neighborhood. That's when it hit them. I owned the only way in. Let me take you back to how a retired accountant from Ohio ended up owning the front door to an entire subdivision, and why Eleanor, the self-appointed queen of the HOA, lost her mind over it. I'm Robert Hayes, 58, freshly moved to Willow Creek after 35 years crunching numbers in Cleveland. I thought I'd found paradise, tree-lined streets, friendly waves, a little ranch house with room for tomatoes, and a golden retriever named Max. The HOA seemed harmless, just a few pages of rules about lawn height and mailbox colors. I signed the papers without a second thought. Then I met Eleanor Whitaker, HOA president, visor perched like a crown, clipboard welded to her hand. She introduced herself the way a traffic cop hands out a ticket. "Your grass is 3/4 of an inch too tall," she announced on my third day, peering over her sunglasses like she'd caught me robbing a bank. I laughed, thought it was a joke. It wasn't. The letters started next. Trash cans visible for 7 seconds too long. Garden hose not coiled in a perfect spiral. Flagpole bracket 1 degree off vertical. I fixed everything, stayed polite, even left a pint of cherry tomatoes on her porch. She mailed them back with a note. Bribery violates Section 14B. One Tuesday I came home early and found her in my backyard, tape measure stretched across my fence pickets. "Eleanor, this is private property." She didn't flinch. "I'm president. I inspect." I told her next time I'd call the sheriff. She scribbled hostile attitude and marched off. That night my neighbor Tom, who's lived here since Reagan, sighed over coffee. She once snipped Mrs. Larson's roses because a petal crossed the property line. Woman's got a ruler in her soul. I installed a cheap motion camera by the side gate. 2 days later it caught Eleanor crouched by my tomatoes, snapping photos like a paparazzo. Game on. At the next HOA meeting I stood up. Any board member steps on my lawn again without written notice, I file trespassing charges. Eleanor laughed so hard her visor slipped. "We have inspection rights." The room went quiet. A few neighbors shifted in their seats. I met her eyes. "Show me the statute." She couldn't. A week later I found my side gate forced open, latch snapped clean off. Eleanor was inside, rolling a measuring wheel across my zoysia. I dialed 911 on speaker. She went pale, dropped the wheel, and speed walked away. That night, I ordered a heavy-duty steel gate, the kind banks use, complete with keypad and cameras tied to my phone. Then the county records search turned up gold. The 28-foot strip where the old community gate sat wasn't HOA common area or city right-of-way. It was deeded to the previous owner who quietly transferred it to me when I bought the house. Nobody had noticed because the gate had always been open. Until now. I had the new gate installed in 48 hours. The first morning, Eleanor showed up at 7:55 a.m., tapping her clipboard like a war drum. "Remove it or face fines." I sipped coffee from the porch. "Send the fine to the county clerk. They'll laugh you out of the building." She spun on her heel and left a dust cloud. The letters escalated. "Remove gate or legal action" in bold caps. I filed them under E for evidence. Then came the binoculars at dusk, the midnight lockpick attempt, caught on 4K, the torn scrap of her trademark floral blouse snagged on the fence. I upgraded to double deadbolts and a tamper siren that could wake the dead. The HOA meeting turned into a circus. Eleanor rallied half the room. "He's strangling community access." I projected the deed on the screen. Gasps. Whispers. A 70-year-old widow in the back muttered, "Well, I'll be damned." Eleanor's face matched her geraniums. That night someone spray-painted gate or wore across my driveway in dripping red. I hosed it off before sunrise, humming Amazing Grace. Patience, I kept telling myself, is a sharper weapon than rage. Then came the Saturday that should have been in a movie. I'm on the porch with coffee when a convoy rolls up. Dump trucks, cement mixer, orange cones. Eleanor stands in the middle like Patton, barking orders. Pour the new curb right here. A worker scratches his head. Ma'am, this is private property. She waves him off. I'm already on with 911. 2 squad cars arrive before the first yard of concrete hits the ground. Officer Ramirez studies my deed, looks at Eleanor, and says, "Pack it up, folks." The trucks reverse like a retreating army. You'd think that would end it. It didn't. Eleanor switched to psychological warfare. 2 a.m. Shadows. Garden gnomes left headless on my steps. Passive-aggressive emails about community harmony. I printed every one, dated them, and slid them into a manila folder labeled crazy. The chainsaw incident was the line she should never have crossed. Midnight. Max barking like a tornado alarm. I flick on the floodlights to see Eleanor in pajama pants, revving a steel, sawing a branch that overhung the gate by 6 inches. Sparks fly. I yell police, loud enough to rattle windows 3 houses down. She drops the saw, sprints, but the patrol car blocks the cul-de-sac. Cuffs click. Attempted property damage, trespassing, the works. She spends the night in county lockup. The neighborhood exhales. Muffins appear on my doorstep. Tom claps me on the back. You outlasted her without raising your voice. Legend. The HOA board requests a sit-down, no Eleanor allowed. We meet on my patio. I pour lemonade, walk them to the gate, show the survey stakes. Mrs. Delgado, vice president, finally admits, we thought it was common area. Our bad. I tell them boundaries aren't walls, they're conversations. They nod like kids caught with their hands in the cookie jar. Peace lasts 11 days. Then the ladder shows up at 11:07 p.m. Eleanor, black hoodie, climbing like a burglar in a bad sitcom. The new silent alarm pings my phone and the precinct simultaneously. She's halfway up when the siren wails and floodlights turn the night into noon. She tumbles, scrapes her palms, and the officers cuff her before she can stand. Vandalism, harassment, violation of the no-contact order the judge slapped on her after the chainsaw stunt. The final straw comes on a quiet Wednesday. I'm trimming roses when a flatbed delivers a portable toilet, addressed to me, placed square in front of the gate. Eleanor's handwriting on the delivery slip, for the man who blocks progress. I laugh so hard Max tilts his head. I call the rental company, explain the prank, and they haul it away free of charge. That night the board votes unanimously. Eleanor is removed as president, barred from holding office for 5 years, and fined for every documented incident. The police add stalking to her charges. The gate stays. I hand out access codes to neighbors who ask politely. Fire department. The mail carrier, Mrs. Delgado when her grandkids visit. Eleanor moves 3 counties away. Rumor says she's terrorizing a condo board in Dayton now. Willow Creek throws a block party barbecue the next month. Kids chalk hopscotch squares on the street. Tom grills ribs. Someone hangs a little plaque on my gate. Boundaries with kindness are. Hayes prop. I raise a lemonade to the sunset and think. Sometimes the loudest victory is the quiet one. So tell me in the comments, was I right to lock the gate, or did I escalate a neighborhood squabble into a war? Where do you draw the line between protecting your property and keeping the peace? Ever faced a bully who wouldn't quit? Drop your stories below. I read every one. And if you've ever dealt with injustice that just kept coming, speak up. Your voice matters.